bitch, I'ma hear the beat drop.
What's up, guys? It's Mitch from MindsetFitness.net, your mindset muscle coach, and we're back here again. We just finished up week 5 of the second round of the DelMonte protein contest. As if you've seen my previous videos in this series of back specialization, you know that I'm one of 36 now, narrowed it down from 60 to 36, trying to get to one of those top 12 spots where we can win a whole bunch of cool stuff and get to train and do a whole bunch of cool things with Vince DelMonte himself. There'll be a link to his channel underneath this. You can see all the cool stuff he's putting out right now. But in this video, I wanted to touch on why and how I am specializing in one muscle group at a time. So as you can see, I got my trusty whiteboard behind me. So let's dive right into it. I want you to imagine, say this, since for me, I'm specializing in back. This is my back. One muscle group. Now, during this program, since I'm trying to do one, my training is all dedicated towards building up my mass in my back, specializing in more so the middle center of my back where I'm weakest, trying to build up my traps and look a little bit more well balanced. My nutrition is also targeted straight for that, for one muscle group. And then you have everything else that comes into play. My supplements, my, let's say my sleep patterns, how much sleep I get, all that is going into building up my back. I'm gonna put a little positive sign because I'm trying to build up my back more than anything else. Now, let's say if I was trying to add a bunch of different things into the mix. Let's say over here, you got chest, legs, wobbling around, arms, and let's say delts, shoulders. Now, if I was trying to build up all these at the same time, which is somewhat okay when you're brand new, when your muscles aren't even used to what you're doing, they'll respond to pretty much anything, especially when you're young and the testosterone is high, you'll be able to grow off of pizza and Doritos or whatever. But anyways, if you're a little bit more advanced, trying to get one muscle group to grow is obviously the best choice because look at this, if your training is now split up, let's say you're trying to build up your arms and your back at the same time. Your training here has to, it's going towards your back and then it's also going towards your arms. It's being split up in different directions. And if you're trying to get everything to grow, all of a sudden, look at that, your body's being divided into different segments just saying, oh, I need everything to grow, which does happen with an increased amount of testosterone. But since we're specializing, this is why I'm doing it, because all my training, all my nutrition, all my supplementation, all my sleep, all my rest goes to strictly building up the back, which just makes sense. It's very, very simple, just like anything else. If you focus on a bunch of different things at one time, then you're not going to be able to get it done. If you're very specific and you focus on one thing at a time, obviously you're going to get that, you're going to end up getting that to grow. So during this one, it's just 6 weeks. You can last 6 weeks of just specializing that. We're only training back 3 days a week, more of a heavy, medium, and higher volume day. And then the rest of the week is just maintenance. That's the key. I know it's so easy to want to train other stuff, balls to the wall and all that stuff, but you're putting all your effort in. That's why you're doing back specialization or any type of muscle specialization program, because you're trying to get that to grow over everything else. So when 6 weeks is done, you can go on to something else. And something I also wanted to address here is that everyone says they have weak body parts. I've actually been very adamant about saying this before because the way, I think it's taken the wrong way. Because like I said before, if I have a weak body part, it's not necessarily that one is weaker than the other muscles around it. It is because my mind-muscle connection with that particular muscle is weaker than the rest of my other muscles. Just because, I can get my shoulders to grow over some other muscle doesn't mean I'm naturally gifted in my shoulders. Yes, genetics does play a part, especially early on. But if you see a couple muscle groups growing, like, oh, my back's growing like crazy, but my chest never grows, it's not because so much of genetics. It is more so that you haven't established that mind-muscle connection with that muscle. So it's very important. I want you to take that into consideration when you're doing these things. Learn the movements, learn how to feel that muscle contract, learn how to feel it stretch completely through a full range of motion. And I guarantee you'll see it kind of develop over time. And specializing in that specific muscle is also going to be very, very helpful. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. I'm going to be doing some more stuff with this because I got a lot of stuff I want to share. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's very, very helpful. I try and get a lot of stuff out to you guys. And also, if you can subscribe to my email newsletter list. I got a ton of stuff that I pump out week to week to week that's going to be, feeding your muscle growth, your fat loss, your nutrition, a whole bunch of cool stuff. And a link for that will also be down below. So follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for sure. So I'll see you guys next week when we move on to the last week of this phase with some new cool stuff. Peace.
And I can't describe how a slew of the artists produce garbage and give us these outlandish lies. But I am surprised, you're like a mascot claiming to be an animal when there's only a man inside. Each syllable that's encrypted by individuals tend to give up a quizzical visual, since the typical egotistical lyrical guy pitiful interviews isn't formidable to be looked upon in your living rooms. In addition to that, you might be remembered. The industry has been dark, but some light is entered. You won't receive props, please stop, homie.